Hey guys, Remax Canada has just released their 2025 Canadian housing market outlook, and I want to take a dive into it. So let's take a peek. First thing that they're saying right out of the gate is that widespread residential price growth is expected in 2025 as interest rates cut prompt market rebounds. Some of the highlights from this report are that the national average price is expected to rise 5% in 2025. And this is based off of the regions that they surveyed. But it's anywhere from 0.1 to 10%, which we'll be going through that chart here below just very shortly. Some other highlights are that sellers markets are likely to dominate in 2025. 44% of regions will favor sellers. And they're saying about 33% of them will balance out. And then 17% are going to favor buyers. Consumer optimism is on the rise. Lots of surveys were done, and 36% of Canadians are optimistic that the housing market will improve in 2025. I'm going to skip over these charts here. We're going to get back to them very shortly, so hang on. But I want to I want to check out these surveys that they did. They surveyed Canadians to see what they think about the Canadian real estate market. 60% of Canadians are currently owning their homes, 28% currently renting a home, and 8% don't own or rent, which leaves 4%, I don't know where they are, but regardless, gives you a good idea of how many people are owning and how many people are renting. 50% of Canadians feel more optimistic about the housing market than they did last year, which is very good. It sounds like things are starting to turn around. 73% of Canadians believe that home ownership is the best long-term investment that they can make, which I firmly agree. 36% of Canadians believe that Canada's housing market is going to improve in 2025. While 59% of Canadians believe the new mortgage reform rules won't help solve the affordability crisis. Me personally, I thought it was actually going to improve a little more optimism, but that is what it is. Lastly, I just want to close out with 43% feel home ownership remains out of reach, and 20% say that they can no longer afford to own a home, which is pretty sad. Now, the president of Remax Canada said, while affordability challenges persist, the sequential interest rate cuts and changes to the mortgage stress test are a much needed reprieve for those looking to get into the market. The current environment is more encouraging than it has been in the past few years, especially for first-time homebuyers. However, a boost in sales coupled with limited inventory almost always leads to rising prices, which is the trend we're expecting to see materialize in virtually all Canadian housing markets. I completely agree. This is exactly what we've been anticipating. As you guys probably want, what you guys are probably waiting for, let's look into the full chart of all the regions that were reviewed here in the housing market outlook. There's a few that stand out. Obviously, you see the Greater Vancouver area is going to see a 7%, or they're projecting to see a 7% average price. They're also expecting sales to increase by 20%. They're calling it a seller's market. Calgary, Alberta here, a 5% increase they're estimating in prices up to $622,125, but only a small increase in sales. They're also calling it a buyers, balanced, and sellers market. My assumption is that they just can't seem to figure it out, so they just put all three. Calgary is tough to predict right now. It is expected to shift more to a balanced market next year by most experts, but things can change. My favorite market, Edmonton, Alberta, is leading the charge with an expected 10% increase, or estimated increase in values up to $475,000. We can still anticipate lots of cash flow in that area. Some other notable spots: Simcoe County is also leading and tied in first with an estimated increase of 10% in prices up to $884,000. They're also expecting 25% more sales next year, and they're calling it a seller's market. So you can review all of this on Remax's website. Lots of really cool markets, like St. John's, Newfoundland, as well as another one that I keep an eye out for. But go and check that out on Remax's website, and stay tuned for more reviews of some of these markets. I'm going to dive deeper into each individual region and let you know what they're anticipating.